Welcome. It is so wonderful to see all of you here. It's thrilling, as it always is, to kick off this academic year by welcoming so many members of our academic community together. Before I start my remarks today, just a little housekeeping. I do understand there are some students that may need to depart early due to athletic engagements or other events, so we just ask that if you're stepping out for those things that you do so quickly and quietly so as not to interrupt the proceedings. Thank you. So undergraduates, master's students from our two wonderful master's programs, faculty, staff, alumni, families, and honored guests. I begin with a question that I hear a lot these days. What did you do this summer? I bet you weren't expecting that. So I worked. That's pretty much what I do most of the time. But I also did take a little advantage of a summer's slower pace to explore a little bit. And one of those things that I did in that time was I visited Mass MoCA. How many of you have been there? Oh, that's so good. Okay, great. If you haven't, I urge you to go soon. People don't always realize that we're so close to two of the country's great art museums, Mass MoCA and the Clark Art Institute. Right now, Mass MoCA is hosting an exhibition called The Plastic Bag Store by an artist named Robin Frohart. It's described as an immersive multimedia experience that uses humor and craft and a critical lens to question our culture of consumption and convenience, specifically the enduring effects of single-use plastics. If you haven't been there, if you are able to go, you'll see that the shelves in Frohart's quote-unquote store are stocked with thousands of groceries, each hand-sculpted from discarded single-use plastics. The experience is actually pretty mind-boggling. And I left the exhibition awed by her artistry, if slightly overwhelmed again by the enormity of the environmental challenge that she is highlighting. What I think I appreciated most, though, was that Frohart didn't just aim for shock and awe. She sought to be inspiring. Her work adopts a wildly creative approach to allow us to see a problem anew, to shake up complacency. She even uses humor to do it, to allow us to see in new ways. And of course, she isn't alone in her innovative approach to thinking through long-standing social problems. While I was drafting these remarks, I read in the journal Nature Communications about a team of scientists at the Technical University of Munich who have developed a potentially new approach to fighting Alzheimer's disease. It's already quite well known that the formation of plaques in the brain somehow factors in the development of Alzheimer's, and indeed one of our awardees today was a path-breaking scholar in this work, and I look forward to telling you more about him later. According to the report that I read, Professor Zott and his team, what they were able to do was to introduce a protein that binds the monomers that are the building blocks of plaques before they converge into those harmful tangles. And they found that doing so reversed many brain dysfunctions that often occur in early stages of Alzheimer's, and I look forward to talking to you later about whether this is optimistic research or not. But at least to me, a non-scientist reading the report, it was very encouraging at many levels. Now, I ask you to step back for a moment and ask, what, if anything, can we find in common between an artist who fills a fake grocery store with products sculpted out of single-use plastics and a team of scientists trying to interrupt the pollution of the brain by tangles of proteins? And what I see here is people channeling their creative energy and unique skills into addressing problems that matter to them. They don't, of course, have a monopoly on the problems, and clearly there are many left for you to tackle as you go out from Williams. But I really believe in all of your ability to do so, and indeed one of my jobs here is to provide an environment that will inspire you to those pursuits and to help the college prepare you to take those on. So today I get to do that by introducing you to alumni who have exercised their own agency and remarkable talents to do good and important things in the world. They're journalists and scientists and business people and activists and teachers and writers. And if you're paying attention when I read the citations for each one, and I hope you really listen, you'll notice that each one of those categories is more than one of those words can describe, because like you, they are multidimensional people. What connects them to each other and to you is that they drew on their Williams education in order to explore their varied interests and concerns, and to use what they learned to make unique contributions in the world. So I believe you can learn something quite special about that process while we celebrate them today. Afterwards, I hope you'll get to know them and the many other alumni who are available as role models and mentors too. The eFlink platform managed through the 68 Center for Career Exploration is a wonderful way to do so, and I encourage you to do so. So many alumni, as I move through my life at Williams, ask me how they can support students and engage with them, and that's a wonderful platform for that work. Meanwhile, I am so pleased to start this year by welcoming you and our honorees and guests here. And in doing so, I encourage you, as you listen, to ask yourselves, as I ask myself about every day, what can we do more in this world? So whoever you are, I assure you there's an answer, and I look forward to discovering it with you. Thank you so much, and now we will enjoy a performance from E.B. Diallo. Thank you.